everyone. Today we're going to talk about the infamous pay-to-play site, Voice123, and how to use it. When it comes to auditioning, there are a few things to look out for, and we're going to go over them today. Voice123 is like a big search engine for people looking for voices. We voice actors call it a pay-to-play site because we have to pay to have access to jobs. As you may or may not know, Voice123 is based in the US. It's very popular here with US voice actors. Before you sign up to any pay-to-play site, make sure that it has jobs that are a good fit for you. For instance, if you're in Europe or Latin America, Voice123 may not be the best fit because most of the jobs require American accents. Some clients do request accents, but they're far and few between. So you really have to evaluate if it's going to be worth your money for the number of auditions that you're going to get. Voice123 is one of the many tools you should have in your toolbox for getting clients. It should not be the only one. The great thing about pay-to-play sites when you're beginning voice acting is that it trains you. It just gets you to perfect your system. You're going to have to practice your performance skills, your recording skills, your editing skills, put some rates together. It's going to expose you to what clients like, the types of budgets that are out there, and the things that clients really don't like. And if you're on the right pay-to-play site, you're going to get to audition a lot, so you're going to get a lot of practice. One of the reasons I really like Voice123 for voice actors is that you're allowed to take the transactions with clients off-site. You can bill them directly and they can pay you directly. This is great because it keeps you in control of the relationship. You'll have their direct email, for instance, so you can send them new demos when you have them. You can send them some cool work that you've done when you have it. You can tell them you're on vacation when you go away. So it just keeps you in control of the relationship. Now, what this also means is that if the client doesn't pay you on time or just bails, you don't really have any recourses. While that is not common, it can happen. So you also have the option on Voice123 to get booked via their site. So what happens in this instance is, say you charge $500. The client can then pay you $500 via the site. In actuality, the client's going to pay 10% more to pay you through the site. It's called like an escrow fee. So basically, they're going to pay $550 to the site. The site is going to hold the money. You're going to do the job, send the job to the client, and once the client approves, then the funds get released to you. It provides some security for you for payment, but on the flip side, you're not in control of the relationship. Another reason I like the option of taking the transaction off-site and dealing with it yourself is that it keeps the transaction transparent. If you say, this costs $500, the client agrees, that's what you're going to get paid. One of the first things you want to look at when you're auditioning on Voice123 is the number of proposals the client wants to receive and how many proposals they have already received. Let's first look at the number of proposals they're wanting to receive. If a client is wanting to receive 200 proposals, I guarantee you most of those will go unheard. So try to audition for smaller pools of talent. Number 2, look at how many proposals have been received in relation to the number of proposals wanted. Ideally, you want to audition when there's less people who have made a proposal than more. I would just steer away from situations like they want 50 proposals and there's now 85. A lot of the times when there's overage in the proposals, it's because the client hasn't listened yet. And so the casting just was not closed and more people auditioned, but it just gets to be a lot for the client to listen to, so often they don't. When you're auditioning on Voice123, always look at the time left for you to audition. You don't want to start the audition and then you just don't have time to finish it up. Just always look for the time left to submit your voiceover audition. Next, you really want to look at the description. This will normally have details about the kind of voice and the kind of read that they're looking for. So for instance, if I saw something that said bubbly mom, then that would not be me. I've been doing this for 25 years. I've never booked such an audition in my career, so I'm just going to skip it. I realize that you might not know your niche, and that's okay. In the beginning, you're just auditioning and you're practicing reading scripts. Over time, in coaching class and also with bookings, you're going to find your niche and where you fit in, and you're going to be able to manage your energy and audition for things that you're actually right for. Now, if there's a really high budget and it's not really your type of voice, you might decide to audition anyway. Who knows? They might like you. It's okay to experiment. The only thing is, though, Voice123 is kind of against experimentation, and here's why. They rate voice actors in relation to others. If you record too many auditions and clients don't like your auditions, you may not get a rating from the website. They rate the best voice actors, the ones who get the most likes on their proposals, in percentage tiers. So you'll see things like 30% of voice actors, 20% of voice actors, 10% of voice actors. But if you experiment too much and go out of your casting, there's more chances that you're not going to get your proposals liked. The good thing is, though, you're not really rated when you're lower than 30%. So if you're not even rating in the top 3 tiers, 30%, 20%, 10%, don't worry about it. Experiment. It's all good. It's just that once you get to a higher tier, you may want to experiment less because you want to keep that high percentage. I'm not entirely sure clients go for this. I've done some castings, and if I love the voice, I don't care the percentage. The person is right for the job, I hire them, period. Another thing to look at in Voice123 breakdowns, this is jargon in the voiceover industry to mean the description of the project, is what gender is on the profile. A lot of times there'll be male and female. I can tell you from experience that when you see 2 genders, male usually wins the job. I'm not suggesting this is always the case, it's just often the case. So if you have a lot of auditions and this particular audition is receiving a lot of proposals and you're not quite a right fit for the job or you're not sure and you see male or female and you're female, you may want to pass. Obviously, on the breakdown, you're going to have the script, so you're going to look at that, you're going to work your magic, and you're going to submit the audition. About your audition, I do not recommend saying your name at the beginning, though you can if you want, but I do recommend saying 2 takes if you're doing 2 takes. That way they know there's something else coming, because a lot of times they might not think that you've recorded more than 1 take. I do recommend recording 2 takes if it's a short script, or if they ask for it, and just 1 take if it's a longer script. Lastly, on the voice acting breakdown of Voice123, we find the budget. Some clients will set a budget, they'll say how much they're willing to pay up to, and some clients will look for a quote from you. I'm going to make a video about rates, but in the meantime, I just want you to keep in mind that cheaper is not always better. I've cast voices, and we looked for the right voice. Also, if you're looking for something special, do you always go for the cheapest thing? Sometimes you save your money and you go for something that is of higher value because you know it's going to be better. And also the reverse is true. Just because you charge a lot of money doesn't mean that you're great. It's good to get familiar with industry rates. This is something I talk about in my business book, and I will make another video about rates. One of my favorite things on Voice123 is that at the bottom of a lot of voiceover breakdowns, you'll see a little sentence, and it says, "Allow actors to add this audition to the public portfolio." And then it says, yes. This means you have permission to use that audition as a demo. Voice123 is a great repository for demo material. Now, on some breakdowns, that line will not be there. That usually means this audition is confidential, but usually the client will also put it in the description. So save those auditions, save those scripts, put them in a folder, and later on you can rework them and convert them into your new homebrew demos. Obviously, Voice123 has a demo section, and they have wonderful tools to help you tag your demos so that you're easier to find in the search engine. I would really spend some time and look at that, and more demos is good. So keep collecting that material. You want to have a lot of stuff to showcase to clients because you want to be able to have them choose one of your samples as a reference. Of course, now it's time to send the proposal. So in this area, you would want to write your email, the gear that you use, if you're using Source Connect, the kind of environment that you're recording in, if it's professional. So if you have an ISO booth, you would want to put that in there. Note that most clients don't even read this, but you'll have the information there in case they do. If you have anything in particular that you want to state it here so that you have something written down to protect you. For instance, the client might not have been clear about the length of the script that they're posting, and you might be quoting a certain rate, but what if they come at you with double the amount? Is that rate still going to work? So you might say something like, this rate is for X amount of text. If you have more, I will have to reconfirm the rate. So it's just a way to help you get out of a tight spot if you need to later down the road. All pay-to-play sites have a profile section, and this is where you can inject some of your personality. A lot of people just write their achievements, and that's great, but having a sense of who you are, especially when you're not there to sell yourself, is just a great way to create a connection with the client. People want a real human connection. They want to know who you are, especially if they like your voice. So don't be afraid to inject some of your personality in your profile. In a nutshell, pay-to-play sites are a great way to get your feet wet, to get some experience, and they're a great way to build your clientele as well. But like I said earlier, don't make it your only source of clients. You should also have an outbound marketing strategy. You want clients to be coming from multiple different sources, because if something happens, like Voice123 goes down or they change the algorithm, you'll have other ways of earning revenue. Now, of course, Voice123 is very, very crowded, and some things trend sometimes. So you might not be trending right now. Don't despair if you don't book. The best thing you can do for your career is always coaching. I'm not just saying that because I'm a coach. I'm saying that because I coached a lot as well. And because all of the people that I know that are booking a lot have coached a lot as well. So don't despair if you don't book. Find a coach that will help you find your niche so that you can build the business that you want. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please write them in the comments. I just love getting to know you. If you want to do coaching or you want to know about the classes I'm putting together, join my mailing list. It's the best way for us to stay in touch. You'll be the first to know about everything that I'm doing. Also, as a perk, if you join the mailing list, you're going to get a discount code for the books that I've written called Get Clever About Voice Acting and Announcing. Lastly, if you like the content in this video, please subscribe to my channel. This is a labor of love. I'll see you next time.